Hey guys, Tricks726 back for another behind the scenes video as I'm trying to finish up some other videos or stop motions that I'm working on. I know we're a week behind, but things have been getting a little crazy, so I'm trying to keep up with it as best as I can. Today we're going to be talking about Thor versus Wonder Woman. This was a pretty fun fight, I think, to do. I thought this was going to be a better matchup than Thor versus Superman, just because they both have like the Amazonian and the Asgardian backgrounds, and like they're rooted in mythology, and they're both like really good fighters and everything like that. Uh, so I just figured it'd be more interesting than just having a super bro punch out with Superman. Um, I mean, obviously there'd be more to it than that, but I feel like there's just more I could do with a Wonder Woman Thor fight than a Superman Thor fight, and we already kind of saw that in the Avengers versus World Finest video a little bit. So, anyways, we're going to start it now. So we have Thor coming down from Asgard. Heimdall beams him down, but he sends him to the DC universe instead of to the Marvel universe on accident. I guess that's what happened. That's the story. So then Wonder Woman shows up, and she's voiced by my good friend Aang, who she also voiced Wasp and Black Widow in past videos before. So I want to say thank you to her. So then they talk for a little bit, and they're like, "Hey, let's just have a friendly battle, right?" So they're just gonna have like a test of strength, see if it's Asgardians or Amazonians who are better. But then as the fight goes on, it just evolves, and they just actually try and beat the crap out of each other. So then we have them jumping at each other, and then we've got the cover photo for the video right there as they jump and clash the hammer and her sword together. So then, right there, he's supposed to be kicking her in her stomach, but his articulation limited him, so it ends up being a crotch shot, um, which I do not condone, but whatever, it works out. And you can see Pikachu is sitting in the background, just cause. And then I stole some moves from the Wonder Woman versus crap, I forget who it is. Wonder Woman, she's fighting people that work for Granny Goodness or whatever. I've never seen that animated film, to be honest. I think it's Batman Superman Apocalypse. Um, but I took some moves from there because I saw that video on YouTube and I was like, hey, that looks pretty cool. I also took some stuff from other Thor fights in the movies, as well as Frigga versus Malekith in Thor 2. And then when they're on the ground, that's from Guardians of the Galaxy when Gamora's fighting Star-Lord. And the camera moves, she dodges that, grabs her sword. This is the part where it's Frigga versus Malekith. So then Wonder Woman has the upper hand. He hits her in the back. And then, yeah, I don't know. In Earth's Mightiest Heroes, Thor talked about how there's no honor in attacking an enemy from behind. But since she's like, it's not a friendly battle, he's like, okay, fine. I don't care. She blocks it with her gauntlets. And there's the fountain I was talking about. And then that hammer I used for the spinning effect came from the more recent Marvel Select Thor. I only bought it because it had that spinny hammer, actually, and I thought it'd be really cool to use. It makes it a lot easier to spin the hammer, to make it look like the hammer's spinning fast, than actually spinning it, because the character might move and stuff like that, and then when you loop it, it looks like they're doing a weird swaying back and forth. So I'm happy I have this one now. And then she blocks the bricks, which I've talked about many times. So now they just have a punching contest. Each punch is stronger than the last one. So she punches him, he punches her, she falls back, and then she punches him into a building. So then we've got Star-Lord, Han Solo, Kaylee Fry from Firefly, and Malcolm Reynolds, and Khaleesi just having a good time. And then Thor jumps out. And then they're like, was that Shazam? Because this is in the DC universe. And I was like, lightning. I thought about making a Superman joke instead, but I was like, nah, Shazam. And then you can see the Papa's Hut pizza box on there as well. So for Wonder Woman's lasso, I used like 3 different things. I used gold wire, gold string, and the plastic one that she has on her side. Um, I don't know. I feel like at some point it's kind of hard to see the rope, but I'll figure something out better for that in the future, I think. So then she knees him. This part with the lasso tied around his arm, I actually felt like I liked it, just because there's so much stuff that happens. And then when I was working on it, someone came in when Thor was about to do like the suplex on Wonder Woman, but they only saw like the first frame and they thought something else was happening. And I was like, no, he's picking her up. He's not attacking her from behind. But anyways, so he throws her on the ground, and then she pulls a string, knocks him down, kicks him in the face. So then he goes to pick up Mjolnir, and then she pulls the rope back and makes him miss it. What was that? What did that remind me from? I think that was also from Thor: The Dark World, except that version they cut off his hand instead of just taking it from him. And then she lassos him with the lasso of truth. So then he admits that it's proving to be a more difficult fight than he originally thought. But then he pulls his hammer, and then this is the first time I've actually had Thor do some uh like not lightning stuff with his hammer. I think he makes a tornado and spins out of it. Wait, no, in the Hulk versus Thor video, I had him block Hulk's thunderclap with his hammer blowing wind at it. But that I don't know if that translated very well on the video. So then she's throwing stuff at him, and I forget where she gets that barbell from, but debris. She got it from there, maybe from Star-Lord's apartment. So now she's got like a bow staff that she's using. And then she lassos Mjolnir and grabs it. She spins it with that. So then right here, it looks like Wonder Woman has the upper hand. And like that, she's going to win. Because she has the hammer and her lasso, and Thor has nothing. But then he catches it in the air. And he sends her off. And then right there, I don't know how well you can see it in the video, but when she's flying across everything, I made a billboard that says, "Come visit Coast City, the city without fear." So, Green Lantern fans out there, it's his home city. And then she crashes and lands with a hammer. Alright, and then they both show up. But we're going to watch both endings. I'm going to start with the Thor ending just because it's on the left. And then we're going to go to the right to watch the Wonder Woman ending. So in this Thor ending, he summons lightning everywhere. She dodges it. And then when she's looking for more, he attacks her. She goes for an elbow drop. There's a lot of wrestling moves in this one. I don't know why, but there are. And then he electrocutes the crap out of her. Is she like bending his arm? I actually went in and drew her I made her entire silhouette black, and then I put a skeleton on top of her. I had to draw that on, so I had a picture of a human skeleton up so I can try and do it somewhat accurately, even though it's on the screen for like barely a second. Not even a second. Yeah, so that's where the skeleton part comes in. Oh, and Bane's Chiropractic is behind them as well. So if you need a good back breaking, that's where you can go. Batman highly recommends it. So then he hits her in the back of the head. And then my little brother, Ismaster, came up with this part where he hits her 3 times in the head with the hammer, does an uppercut, she goes flying up, throws the hammer so it hits her in the chest, and then summons lightning and smashes her to the ground. So yeah, that's kind of a overkill, but it works. So that was the Thor ending. I think that one is shorter, I think. I'm going to double check. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter, but I feel like it was more intense. The Wonder Woman ending has more, I think it has a little bit more choreography with back and forth, but the Thor ending is more just domination. So anyways, with the Wonder Woman ending, she blocks the lightning, And then I stole some things from a Wonder Woman versus Aquaman fight from the Justice League TV show. Or Justice League Unlimited, I forget. So anyways, uh, they continue to fight, she pushes him back, and then she catches the hammer. Because I think there was a Justice League Avengers crossover comic, and it turns out Wonder Woman was worthy. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So then she takes him out the hammer, kind of off screen. I think I filmed this 1 second, uh, which I think you can kind of tell just because she doesn't really visually beat him. Besides catching the hammer, it just fades out to white, and then she won. That tends to happen in fights when I do multiple endings. The second one, I get kind of like, all right, let's just wrap this up. I want to be done. So it gets kind of shafted. But so I need to work on not doing that in the future. But yeah, that was that ending as well. Overall, I think this fight is pretty good. I don't know. It's not my favorite one I've done, but I think it's I like it a lot. I tried to make sure it was pretty balanced. I know that I talked about this in the Agent Venom versus Winter Soldier video, how the critique that the fight wasn't really even and that it was like very one-sided. I didn't want that to happen again. So I tried to make sure that this fight like had a decent back and forth, and it seemed like either person could be winning. I think one thing I want to do in the future, in addition to making sure it's even, is to like maybe have it like start out pretty even, but then it just starts to get one-sided towards the end, or like they both get start to get tired, so that it's not as intense fighting or something like that. I don't know. I haven't fully worked out what I'm trying to say, but if you get what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So, anyways, that was a good fight. I think it's one of the better ones I've done. There's some things that I'm still like, it could have been better. There's some stands you can see in the fight at some point, which I should have edited out. But, oh well, it's not that big of an issue. I also think that we should be seeing more of Wonder Woman in the future. I'm not sure who I'll have her fight. Maybe like Captain Marvel. At some point, I think that could be an interesting fight as well. But I want to do someone. I want to get more DC Marvel crossovers, and I want to use someone new. So we've had Green Lantern, Captain Marvel, or versus Captain Marvel, and Thor versus Wonder Woman. Kind of Flash versus Quicksilver. Not really, but I mean that's basically. I feel like the short sums up everything that would happen in that fight. I mean, like Flash is way faster than Quicksilver in the comics. So there's that. So we'll see who, if and who we have fight in the future. I know I've talked about doing like a Spider-Man versus Batman or Batman versus Iron Man or something like that. So we could see something like that in the future, or Batman versus Captain America, whichever. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But I think that's about it for this video. If you have any more questions, or if you have any questions about other videos you want to see, or anything about this video, or how I did anything that I didn't explain, feel free to ask me in the comment section below, and I'll answer that for you. I feel like a lot of the things I didn't talk about in this video for how I did things, I've explained in past videos that are like super similar, so I didn't feel like mentioning them this time around. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. We'll see you guys next time, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!